With interest rates in the sixes, she has some real attractive options to secure her son's future. What does Cooper think? Let's ask him. What do you think? $1 million. That's what I think. $1 million. You weren't standing on that doorstep this morning at 7 because you're sitting on a strong case. You want to go to trial? Fine. Her lawyer will file environmental claims with the Texas Commission on Quality. Seek safety and equipment reviews from OSHA and the Railroad Commission. I've been all over those pumps and holding tanks. I haven't seen one that would pass yet. Then comes the deposition. Sure, you might rake me through the coals. But what will the other 700 oil rig workers put on the public record? If it's worth $1.2 million to avoid trial, it's worth $3 million. And why are you carrying all this yourself? Where's your insurance company? What don't you want them to see? So yes, it's $1 million. I have a counter on the settlement. What? Did they hire an attorney? They came up with it on their own. Hold on. Let me get in the car. Did you say no attorney? I'm not in a position to answer that. You think you're pretty smart, don't you? Smart enough. How much? $1 million, Jesus, Nate? How did they know to counter? One of the family members asked Cooper Norris to sit in. Who? Tommy Norris's kid. My employee, Cooper Norris? Oh, Jesus. All right. Do the $1 million with an NDA and restrict the offer to whoever he's advising. With an NDA? What's an NDA? It means you can't disclose the settlement or the amount to anyone, including other family members. Which means they don't get it. That's not fair, no. They all need to get it. They won't sign unless it's for all three. Put Rebecca on the phone. Hey there. I thought you were pretty hot after that deposition. It looks like you're getting hustled here by a worm off a workover crew. You think this widow can find a litigator to work on contingency? Not without his help, but I think she can count on that. Pay it and paper it, then fire that backstabbing son of a... You can't do that, sir. That's wrongful termination.
Tell him not to worry.
I quit. He is tendering his resignation. Great. Looks like something finally went my way. Yeah, there are 4 boxes for initials in those documents. Sign right there. Let me look that over. I'll give you the highlights. It says you can't sue MTEX for anything ever. Nothing in the past, nothing in the future. If an MTEX helicopter drops an anvil on your house, you have no recourse. That's what $1 million buys. And if you don't like that, and I hope you don't, then I'll see you in court. What do you think? Sign, there you go. You crazy kids. Don't spend it all in one place. Rebecca, I wish you the best in your future endeavors. I don't know what that means. It means go to hell. Rebecca, we are very sorry for your loss. You did a good thing. What happens when the quiet guy in the room finally decides he's not scared anymore? Because the moment Cooper looked Rebecca in the eye, something changed. And you could feel it before a single word was said. The air was already heavy long before Cooper walked into that room. In the world of Landman, power is not always loud. Sometimes it sits quietly at the head of the table, watching, waiting, deciding who wins and who gets crushed. And that's exactly where Rebecca was. She didn't need to raise her voice. She didn't need to threaten anyone openly. Her calm tone and steady gaze were enough to remind everyone that she was always 3 steps ahead. Cooper knew that. Everyone knew that. For a long time, he played his role carefully. He listened more than he spoke. He followed orders. He stayed out of direct fights. But pressure had been building around him from every side. Deals were falling apart. Trust was fading. And no matter what went wrong, somehow the blame kept circling back to him. Not loudly. Not directly. But clearly enough, Rebecca had a way of doing that. She would ask simple questions that felt harmless, but each one carried weight. She would look at Cooper as if she already knew the answer, as if she was waiting for him to slip. And the more she did that, the more people around them started to doubt him. That doubt started to grow like a crack in glass. Small at first, then spreading. But here's what Rebecca may not have noticed. Cooper was watching too. He saw how she moved, how she controlled meetings, how she stayed calm when others panicked. And slowly, he began to understand something important. Her power worked because no one challenged it. No one forced her to defend herself. No one made her uncomfortable until now. That day, the tension was different. Cooper walked in without lowering his eyes. He didn't rush. He didn't look nervous. And for the first time, Rebecca's usual control didn't feel as solid as before. The people in the room could sense it. There was no shouting, no sudden drama. Just a quiet shift in energy, because this wasn't just another meeting. This was the moment. Cooper stopped playing defense, and Rebecca, she could feel it. Cooper didn't wake up that morning planning to challenge Rebecca. That's what makes this moment so powerful. It wasn't planned. It wasn't dramatic. It was built slowly, piece by piece, like pressure inside a closed pipe. And when pressure builds long enough, something always bursts. In Landman, survival depends on knowing your place. Cooper understood that rule better than anyone. He stayed patient. He kept his head down. He believed that if he worked hard enough, if he stayed loyal enough, things would balance out. But lately, loyalty didn't feel like strength anymore. It felt like weakness. Every meeting became the same pattern. Rebecca would guide the room with her calm voice. She would bring up problems in a soft way, and somehow, those problems would lead back to Cooper. She never directly blamed him. She didn't have to. A small pause. A slow look. A question asked at the right time. That was enough to plant doubt in everyone's mind. At first, Cooper told himself it was business, just strategy. But then he started noticing something deeper. Rebecca wasn't correcting him in private. She wasn't offering real support. She was letting the room question him, letting his confidence shrink, letting others test him. And the worst part, she did it while smiling. There's a moment when a man realizes he is being slowly pushed into a corner. Not attacked, not shouted at, just quietly moved aside. Cooper felt that corner getting smaller every day. The respect he once had was fading. The trust he earned was slipping. And Rebecca stayed calm through it all, as if she was watching a plan unfold exactly the way she wanted. But here's the thing about quiet people. They think more than they speak. Cooper started replaying conversations in his head. He started seeing patterns. He started connecting small details. And once he saw it clearly, he couldn't unsee it. This wasn't random. This wasn't pressure from outside. This was control. And he was the target. The breaking point didn't come with yelling. It came with a simple moment. Rebecca questioned him again in front of everyone. Same calm tone, same steady eyes. But this time, instead of feeling small, Cooper felt something else. Clarity. For the first time, he understood that staying silent would not protect him. It would bury him. And that was the moment something shifted inside him. The fear didn't disappear, but it stopped controlling him. His shoulders straightened. His breathing slowed. And when he finally looked back at Rebecca, it wasn't with doubt, it was with decision. Because this time, he wasn't going to absorb the pressure. He was going to send it back. The room wasn't loud. No one was arguing. Papers were spread across the table. Phones were face down. Rebecca was leading the discussion like she always did. Steady voice, calm face, full control. In the world of Landman, this is how power looks. Quiet, smooth, almost polite. She asked another one of her careful questions. It sounded simple, harmless even, but everyone knew what it meant. It pointed straight at Cooper again. Usually, this is where he would explain. He would defend. He would adjust his tone to keep things peaceful. But this time, he didn't. Instead of speaking right away, Cooper leaned back in his chair. He let the silence stretch. Not long enough to seem awkward. Just long enough to make people notice. That pause alone shifted the air in the room. Rebecca's eyes narrowed slightly. Just slightly. It was the first crack in her calm face. Then Cooper spoke. Not loudly. Not angry.com. He didn't answer her question. He asked one instead. Why is every problem suddenly traced back to me? No one expected that. The question wasn't rude. It wasn't disrespectful. But it was direct. And direct questions are dangerous when you're used to control. Rebecca gave a small smile. The kind that says, "You're mistaken." She tried to turn it around. She said it wasn't personal, that they were just looking at facts, that everyone was accountable. But Cooper didn't nod this time. He stayed steady. His voice didn't shake. He listed moments, specific ones, times when she questioned him in front of others, times when she stayed silent while doubt grew. He didn't accuse her of attacking him. He simply laid out the pattern, and patterns are hard to deny. For the first time, Rebecca had to defend herself. The room felt different now. People shifted in their seats. Some avoided eye contact. Others leaned forward. Because this wasn't just about one deal or one mistake anymore. This was about power. Rebecca tried to stay calm. She reminded Cooper of the stakes. She hinted that emotions could cloud judgment. She subtly warned him that challenging leadership could create bigger problems. But Cooper didn't back down. His next words were simple, but sharp. "If I'm failing, say it clearly. If I'm not, stop."